What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist Stochastic here in the Odd Shopper channel coming to you with a very quiet edition of Lindy's Lanes, Likes, and Lots. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. It goes a long way for me on this video. It goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here. But at a little neck of the YouTube kids. Nothing like making a video for thousands and thousands of people that will be very, very quiet, very, very efficient. But some of you like that. Some of you like it when I get to the point on stuff. Happy to do it here. I broke down all 11 games that we're going to cover here on the MLB slate. But of course, boop, wait, boop, there it is. Pennsylvania launch bet 5, get 150 in bonus bets right now. $50 spins as well. Well, not $50 spins, 50 spins. You could get $50. You could get $5,000. It's a great opportunity to jump in. Get bet 5, get 150 in bet credits. And without further ado, producer Jacob, let's get to the picks. Game number 1, Shota Imanaga, Ben Lively. I think the big thing that I'm seeing just modeling this one out is Emmanuel Clase has pitched back-to-back games. When Emmanuel Clase is tapped out for the Cleveland Guardians, it's a big deal. Now, he tried to do everything he could to throw up on himself against my Twins, gave up 2 hits, and then got himself out of a bases-loaded, 2 runs up jam without giving up a run. Absolutely insane stuff. Twins lose 5-3. I'm in pain. But Emmanuel Clase, Hunter Gaddis, Cade Smith, these are guys that matter a lot here. And so I do think that this is a Cubs number that I would expect to inflate to minus 125 before first pitch if people catch on to that, because it hasn't moved since that game ends, and that's just wrong to me. So the Chicago money line, we like it. Next up, got a couple of home run plays that exist here. Sonny Gray, Andrew Abbott here on the mound. And Sonny Gray starting, I mean, for an elite pitcher, there are some concerning power numbers that are starting to creep into his arsenal. Nothing crazy, but the wind is blowing out 10 miles per hour to right field in a ballpark that, generally speaking, very, very small. Great opportunity to get yourself a little bit of money here on a couple of guys who might not have the power. They don't got the power. I don't have time to make jokes. These are not things I'm going to do. But TJ Friedl, guy with a 327 expected slugging, you go through some of his portfolio, only a 30.8% hard hit, but I was looking between him and Jake Fraley, and Jake Fraley down like around a 25% hard hit. And the main thing that I have is that TJ Friedl still lofts it, 17.3-degree launch angle. I think there's just about no situation where he will not be on the card tomorrow if he's in the lineup. So know the rules of your book. But FanDuel, generally speaking, BetMGM, generally speaking, your 2 best for home run odds. Just wait till he's confirmed in that lineup. Next up, we've got Houston, we got Tampa Bay, and Taj Bradley. He's got the great strikeout stuff. We always point that out every single time that he's on the mound. A great combination of pitches, four-seamer, cutter, split, and the split is nice. So Taj Bradley can strike out a bunch, 218 expected batting average to go with it. And the blocks have been in check, but a 10.8% barrel percentage, that's always tough to back. And Framber Valdez coming off of like an unbelievable gem that gets torched by a Corey Seager 2-run bomb to finish it out. I think these are pretty efficient numbers here. I'm not going to try to pick on Taj Bradley too much, even though Houston just showed out a little bit there. Framber Valdez, how are you? Welcome back to the program. But Houston money line, just a lean for me. And I do not want to talk about home run round robin. I would have had 4 home runs if I had played it the day after I played it. Welcome to betting baseball. Texas at Boston, and I'm not going to call this my favorite spot. I think there's one other spot that I like a little bit more coming up a little bit later that's actually an over as well. Spoiler alert, it's in San Diego. But anyway, you've got Tyler Mahle, first start back, and obviously I went through his velocity numbers, kind of wanted to see where he was at. Only 2 strikeouts, not a ton of swing and miss stuff here in that first outing. And Tyler Mahle, he's a really, really good pitcher, but he had the misfortune of matching up against Framber Valdez in that aforementioned 8 2/3 just gem that he spun. Then gets pulled, just misses an out for a complete game. Would have been wild. But Ryan Bayo, he's actually flying in from his, I believe, I just saw that he had a kid. So congratulations to him. He was on the paternity list. Don't know what that means. I don't think he's tired yet as a dad, or he's going to be traveling. Baseball, it's a different deal. But anyway, you don't care about that. I don't care about that. But I think with the weather that you continue to have here in Boston, the over of 9.5 looking all right at minus 115. It's moved to 10 at a couple of spots, but at minus 115, and it'd have to be like minus 122 or higher, some of those like inflated juice numbers, for me to look at the range of outcomes and not like the over of 9.5. So click it, ticket, see a seatbelt fasten, trunk bet. Bet 365. Bet 5, get 150 in bonus bets. If you're in Pennsylvania, awesome. Great stuff down there. It's only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to picks. Some of your, this is going to be your favorite program of mine, and I absolutely hate you for it. But anyway, Brady Singer, he hates left-handed bats, and Pablo Lopez, he hates luck because he just has none of it. He didn't have. Brady Singer has a 228 expected ISO. That is a gigantic number, nearly a 200 ISO as you work through his portfolio. And Matt Wallner confirmed hits baseballs very, 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 very hard. And Trevor Larnach has been all right too. 489 expected slugging. I'm mad at him for that double play ball in the ninth against Emmanuel Clase. A lot of callbacks within. I don't know. I've just been watching baseball all day, and my computer is waiting to take off. But anyway, we've got Mr. Matt Wallner. Hi, how are you this fine day? 583 expected slugging, absolutely rocketing baseball. 65.2% hard hit. If that sample size were bigger, he'd be the hardest hitter in all of baseball from the left side. 46 batted ball events ain't enough, but all you need is one. There's no way he won't be on the card at some of these numbers. Better than plus 300? Oh yeah, it'll be there. This is weird to see Kershaw and Peralta with an 8 total, wouldn't you agree? But that's the version of Kershaw that we've currently got. He's still working himself back, looking at some of his metrics, and he's throwing the ball so soft right now. I mean, it is wild to see zero velocity. I mean, he's dwindled down as a 36-year-old. We've started to see the velocity dip, but now this is the first time that we've seen a sample size of over 90 miles per hour that's coming off the bat of opposing oppositions. And you can look at some of the bat speed numbers. It's not like bat speed's been crazy going up against him over on Baseball Savant, but slider's been a problem. 310 batting average. Four-seamer's been a bigger problem. 467 batting average against. I expect Kershaw to figure it out, but Freddie Peralta, I still can't bat him here. It's just so terrible here. What we've seen from these two guys of late. I'll just call it Milwaukee money line. This is probably my least appealing game on the entire slate, except for maybe some home run numbers that might be inflated. I'm not seeing it though, considering it's the freaking Dodgers and the Brewers. Not exactly mince pie. Yankees White Sox coming off of the Yankees hitting 48,964 home runs on Sunday, or so it would appear. They're nearly minus 300 at open. The White Sox are so bad. Mr. Bush and Luis Heel, and you know how much I love Luis Heel, but in this specific Savant, friends, you're going to have to look at the 2.5, or you're just going to have to pass on this. The run line is at minus 166 there on the Yankees side. I doubt anybody is running to go throw that one down on the road, but 9 guaranteed at bats. You've got Stanton and Soto and Jazz Chisholm just smashing baseballs in a Yankee uniform. Overall, I think this is another passive game. How about this guy? Dyson Danny, he's been all right here so far. Going up against Bowden Francis, and Bowden Francis has not been all right in any way, shape, or form. There's been some major decline here from some of this Toronto pitching staff, but as you work through Davis Daniel, 329 ex-Woba, it's not elite by any means. It's below average, but I do like the four-seamer slider change combination that he's putting together. And Toronto, I bring it up time and time again, not a lot of lefties. Not a lot of lefties that you have to be worried about whatsoever. Spencer Horwitz from time to time. Low Graffito's not very good. And it is Vlad. It is some days when he wakes up on the right side of the bed, George Springer. But overall, it's just a light up that you work through it. WRC plus is down across the board for everybody except for Vlad, who's on a different stratosphere than the rest of this baseball team. But I want to give a shout out to Zach Neto, who I don't think is getting a lot of love for a great shortstop season he's putting together. 456 expected slugging, 336 ex-Woba. He's hitting for some actual crazy power too. 17 homers now and just 394 at bats. I mean, I really like what he does at the plate for this Angels team. And you go through Ward, O'Hop, Adele, and they might be cooking with something if they could just use that Anthony Rendon money on anything else. But Zach Neto, 2+ bases. You got the wind blowing out. It's a great hitting stadium at Anaheim. I don't think the home run numbers are going to look all that good, but love the kind of run that we've seen here from him on the plate. Oh yeah, and Bowden Francis is bad. This isn't bad either. 50% off your first week or month POS Marketplace. Lindy 50, friends. Lindy 50. Join Lindy today. That's me. I'm talking like I'm in a library, but I must because I'm very kind and I try to be a polite individual in the world so you don't get yelled at. And, you know, you want to join me in that foray? Here you go. Back to the pick, sorry. Oh, what a time to be alive. A number of different pitchers that are showing up here on the Colorado side, depending on what book you're looking at. And I tried to get a consensus one. I think it ends up being Bradley Blaylock, but most books have Cal Quantrill listed, so I'm not sure what to make of it. Bradley Blaylock, he's basically just going to come in for like an inning or 2 innings or something. I don't know. He's basically a relief pitcher. But that's the report that we're going to potentially get him out there, and don't know what to make of it. He's 23. been in Double-A, Hartford primarily. But anyway, it's just a thrown out. Anytime you see these guys get called up randomly, you think, oh, well, he's going to get a look. And why wouldn't Colorado just give guys looks at this point? Brandon Pfaadt, he got a look early on last year, didn't go well, came back tail end of last year, and he was a huge part of that World Series appearance team. And, well, he's back to his old tricks, Dewey. Looking all right here so far. I like the combination that we have for him. 286 xWOBA, 379 expected slugging, limited barrels, sub 7%. Does have a 28.4% fly ball percentage, but he's pitching at home in Arizona. It's like a cavernous park for home runs. Does have a lot of territory for your doubles and triples of the world. But Colorado, yeah, Jake Cave has been. My Twins don't need a lefty like Jake. Well, you have enough lefties at this point in time. But Jake Cave was a fun lefty for us once upon a time, just as a whatever. He's not going to matter all that much here. And a lot of these lefties outside of Ryan McMahon aren't all that good. Yeah, Brenton Doyle and Brendan Rodgers starting to hit the baseball pretty darn well. But working through the power metrics, I do think Pfaadt is the right side of this one, but don't love plus 110 here. Don't love it. I could have made this a lean light. This is like on the outside looking in. Into my favorite play of the day, we've got Marco Gonzalez and Joe Musgrove, and this is just kind of a no-brainer to me. I think Marco Gonzalez, not very good in any way, shape, or form. You work through his pitch mix, 392 xWOBA, 555 expected slugging, and he's never had velocity, but like it is really, really down in the doldrums here at the moment, topping out right around 89.5 miles per hour, 89.7 on average here. You can get up to 90, wicked gas, but 31% whiff percentage on the changeup. If it's not the changeup, every other pitch is so negative in my model. It is just absurd. So I just want to throw it out there. Marco Gonzalez confirmed. Not very good at the pitching of the baseballs. We do like San Diego a little bit more against right-handed pitching. Marco Gonzalez, unfortunately, is lefty, but I don't really care in pet code that continues to baffle me with how small it is played in the year of our Lord 2024. But Joe Musgrove, this is kind of an interesting talking point too, because I don't think it gets talked about enough how bad Joe Musgrove was to start off this season. I mean, he was just downright awful, but coming off of the IL here, 60-day IL with the elbow issue, we haven't seen him pitch forever, but when we did, 5.66 ERA, 1.48 whip. I know that those are top numbers that I don't love as much, but he was starting to be like one of those pitchers who's throwing a garbage ensemble. 24% usage, the most of any pitch, that four-seam fastball. He was trying to find a curveball and a cutter and a slider and a sweeper and a change-up and a sinker and all these different pitches. And none of them very good so far to start off this year. A decent enough whiff on a couple of them, but I got to tell you, if it wasn't going to be something like a slider sweeper where he's getting those to swing and miss or the curveball swing and miss, he was getting tuned up, friends. 357 expected batting average against that cutter. Zoic Scoob. I like runs, and 8 is the opening number here. Minus 115 over on FanDuel. It was my first bet of the day. It's my favorite bet of the day. Not going to lock it because you just love when I lose locks, so we're not going to continue on that streak. But yeah, feeling pretty good about this one. And our last spot to be paying attention to, Atlanta, San Francisco. With these names, you should see a low total in 7. A little surprised to see 7, but I ran it and it's still not popping up for me. Chris Sale, Blake Snell, they're two of the best pitchers in baseball. Both southpaws, both just get swing and miss like crazy. Chris Sale coming off of an outing where 10 strikeouts against Milwaukee, but only went 4 2/3. It's weird because he didn't even walk that many guys, but just longer into counts, not getting. Well, I mean, he got a lot of swing and miss when you have 10 strikeouts, but not as much to get out of some of those counts that were going longer and longer and longer. And that's generally the MO for Mr. Blake Snell. But the modus operandi here for him is just continuing to pepper the strike zone in a great pitching ballpark. So for me, the under or pass would be at here 6.5, 7. Those are the only two I'm really looking at. Probably won't play either. But overall, I think that was a good 15-minute breakdown. And that does it for the quietest edition ever of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know if you enjoyed the fast-paced nature of this one, but broke it down pretty in-depth. Have some pretty good plays I feel good about. Got some props out there for the people putting in that work here, even on vacation, or almost like a 2-day hang out with the Odd Shopper boys. You can check that over on X at Eric Lindquist if you go follow me there. But great stuff as always. Thank you to Bet365. Check them out below if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But I got to get myself on a plane. Until next time, friends, thank you, producer Jacob. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Monday.